So next thing that I'm gonna show you is how we can make this a little bit more readable. Right now you can see we have idle, walking, jump, and maybe it can get us a little bit confusing. Let's just delete the jump in here and do it in a better way. If we go back to anim graph, okay, if we right click in here and search for a state machine, we can create as much as we want of these state machines. So why we shouldn't use it? Now I'm gonna show you how you can use multiple state machine in here. This state machine, it has idle and walk, okay? And it check the speed of our character to either play the walking or the idle, right? So no, if we hold Alt and click on here, it will disconnect it. So there won't be any animation, right? So how we can add a new state machine is by caching this state machine. So for example, you drag and drop from here to here, you search for cache, and in here click on new saved cache post. So first of all, let's just name it. Double click in here and you can change the name, and I want to change the name to movement cache. Okay, and of course you can just click in here, and in detail panel you can change the name in here as well. Now this movement cache has everything that is in this state machine in it, and we can use it like a animation, right? So for example, in here we say movement cached, okay, the exact name that is in here, okay, and it will use this movement cache, and if we connect it to here and compile again, it will do the same. So if we compile and run our game again, it will work like it should, but the jump is not working because we delete that, right? No, I'm gonna use this cached version to have our jump. So for using that, let's just delete this and add a new state machine. So a state machine, okay, add a new state machine, and let's just connect it to the result. Right now it doesn't have anything, and I want to change the name to jump state machine, okay? So this way it's easier to read our animation blueprint nodes. Double click on it, and in here, first of all, it has an entry like we have it in movement state machine, and in here again we want to add an state that we call it idle, okay? And in idle, what I want to do, I want to give it our cached animation. So we say use cached pose movement cached, okay? So we can use it in here. Again, if we compile and go back to anim graph, you can see we cache it and we create a state machine, and inside that state machine there is an idle, that in that idle we use that cached animation. So it has walking and idle, okay? So now again, let's just run our game. It will work fine like before. Everything is looking cool, right? So now we want to have jump in this jump state machine. So from the idle, that this idle, because it is in jump state machine, has walking and idle itself inside it, right? Or we could just change the name from the idle to idle and walking, okay? I think this way it is better. Let me uppercase this one. So this state has idle and walking animation inside it, but we want to go to jump state. So let's just add another state and call it jump, okay? And in this jump, we want to use this jump. For example, this animation jump that we searched in last video, let's just connect it here. And for the statement in here, again, we can use the is it on air, okay? If is it on air, just go to jump animation. And if it's not on air, let's just connect it to here. And if it's not on air, so let's just get it here. If it's not true, it means it is on the ground. So stop the jump animation and go back to idle or walking, right? So let's just compile and run our game again. No, we can walk. and we can jump. It's looping because I did forget to click in here and go down in here and change the looping animation to not loop, right? So again, let's just compile, save, and run our game. And now you can see we can jump, everything cool. It get back to idle state. If we jump like this, again, it will go back to idle state and everything is working fine. So what we learned in this video, we learned how to use cached pose or cached animations. So with this cache, we can simplify things. So we have a state machine so for idle and walking, and after that we have a state machine for jumping and going back to that state machine that is for idle and walking, and it is easy to read, right? So what I do in here, you can see you can put it up here, but I think the best way is to put it here. So whenever we open this animation blueprint, we know that all the animation start from movement state machine. We will cache it. We use this cached movement animation in here. So we know that we did use movement cache animation inside this jump state machine. Of course, you can just do it like this, put it in here, but I think it's better for readability if you put it left hand side. Okay,